Did you know that nearly 1 in 3 people will experience an anxiety disorder at some point in their life? This is not a mere statistic, but a stark reality that shakes us to our core. Anxiety disorders are silent battles fought within the confines of one's mind, unseen, yet constantly affecting the lives of around the globe. It's like a persistent shadow, haunting, unshakable, always there, lurking behind the scenes. It's an unwelcome guest that overstays its welcome and refuses to leave. However, before you succumb to despair, remember that we are not helpless against this battle. There are numerous strategies, techniques, and resources available to us to manage, control, and even conquer these overwhelming emotions. The light at the end of the tunnel is not an illusion, the tunnel is. You're stronger than your fears and more resilient than your anxieties. So, brace yourself as we delve into this topic. Fear not, because today we're going to share with you the top 5 ways to conquer fear and anxiety. I remember standing on the edge of a towering diving board, heart pounding like a frenzied drum, legs trembling to their own rhythm. The diving board was a thin, rickety speck of wood high above the ground, threatening to sway with the slightest gust of wind. Each heartbeat echoed loudly in my ears, a constant reminder of the adrenaline through my veins. My legs, once sturdy and confident, now felt as wobbly as jelly, unsteady and unpredictable. Below there twinkled invitingly, a sapphire-hued canvas awaiting my descent. It seemed miles away, an intimidating distance that only emphasized the enormity of my fear. I there, frozen on the precipice, all too aware of the gaping emptiness that stretched between me and the tranquil pool beneath, paralyzed by a fear that was both terrifying and exhilarating, was at a crossroads. I could retreat, surrender to the fear gnawing at the pit of my stomach, turn back and retreat to the comforting safety of the solid ground. Or I could defy the fear, embrace it, and dive. I chose to dive. The fear didn't dissipate instantly. It clung on, a shadowy companion, as I hurtled through the air, plummeting towards the water. But as I plunged into the refreshing coolness of the water, the fear didn't control me. It became a part of the thrill, exhilaration, a raw, unfiltered surge of adrenaline that spurred me on. I faced it head-on, not cowering or backing down, but challenging it with a newfound grit and determination. From that day, I learned to embrace my fears, not run from them. I found myself in a packed underground train, my heart pounding, the enclosing walls seemingly inching closer with every passing moment. The noise, the rush, the impersonal vibe of the subway all seemed to amplify my feelings of anxiety. But amid the chaos, a realization dawned upon me: the power of mindfulness. This revelation wasn't simply about exercises of deep inhalations, exhalations, nor was it confined to the realm of meditation. It was instead about forging a genuine, profound connection with the immediate reality around me. I started to tune into the rhythm of my own breath, allowing it to anchor me in the midst of the bustle. I became aware of the cacophony of sounds around me, the distant echoes of conversations, the periodic whirring of the train doors, the incessant hum of the engine. As I held onto the cool metal pole, I began focusing on the tactile sensations it offered, the icy touch against my palm, the rough texture underneath my fingertips. It was these details that began to ground me, acting as a lifeline back to reality. Soon, the walls stopped closing in, my heart rate steadied, and could breathe again. This simple act of being fully engaged in the present moment, of truly living in the here and now, was an eye-opener. It was a tool that could help combat the surges of anxiety, to keep me grounded when everything else seemed to be spiraling out of control. It was a lesson in resilience, in acceptance, in peace. Mindfulness taught me to live in the present moment and not in my fears. I used to rely on coffee to get through the day and wine to unwind at night. But then I noticed the drastic impact it was having on my mental health, particularly on my anxiety levels. The jitters and palpitations from the caffeine would send my thoughts racing at a mile a minute, while the wine, my chosen elixir of relaxation, would merely numb me for a fleeting few hours, only for the anxiety to come roaring back later with an increased intensity. Every sip of coffee and every sip of wine, instead of quenching my thirst or soothing my nerves, seemed to add fuel to my growing unease. The transient relief that these substances offered was, I realized, a mere illusion, a false dawn of comfort. In the long run, they were creating more stress than they were alleviating. It was a vicious cycle of stimulation and sedation, and I was caught right in the middle of it all. The decision was hard. It dawned on me that cutting back on these substances was the only way out. It was not an overnight transformation, but a slow and steady journey towards a healthier and more peaceful me. The newfound calm I experienced was indeed a balm to my frazzled nerves. I began to see things more clearly, to understand my fears and anxieties better. The process of limiting alcohol and caffeine was not just about physical, but also about mental and emotional cleansing. It was a critical step in conquering my fears and anxieties, an important part of the path towards a healthier, happier me. Limiting alcohol and caffeine became an important step in conquering my fears. I used to isolate myself when I was feeling anxious, but then I realized the power of reaching out. There was a period in my life, a period darker than what I had ever imagined, where fear and anxiety were not just fleeting feelings but constant companions. Day was a struggle, every moment a battle against the unseen foe. But as time went on, I realized that I was not alone in my struggle. As I began to open up, to connect with the people around me, I found that many were fighting their own battles. I discovered a sense of shared experience, a common ground where struggles were not solitary anymore. This understanding, a mutual resonance, became a beacon of hope in the endless night. The empathy, the kindness, the unspoken words of encouragement I received from my friends and family were not just comforting, they were empowering. They became tools in my arsenal to combat my fears, to challenge my anxiety. And in connection, I found strength, a strength not solely mine, but shared. It became a soothing balm to my anxiety, a salve to my worries. The fears that once consumed me started to ebb away, replaced by hope and resilience. This connection, this shared strength, became my lifeline in times of fear and anxiety. Reaching out to my friends and family became my lifeline in times of fear and anxiety. Last but not least, physical activity enters the picture. It's remarkable how a simple movement can work wonders for your mental well-being. Want to know my secret? When I'm gripped by fear, I exercise. Just a brisk walk or a rapid-fire workout session, and my anxious energy starts channeling into something productive. It's like an alchemical process, transforming negative energy into positivity. My experience with exercise is like discovering a powerful instrument for taming my fears and mitigating anxiety. It's not just about physical benefits, it's a mental game changer. It allows me to declutter my thoughts, providing the much-needed clarity. Moreover, it stimulates the release of endorphins, the body's natural pick-me-ups, bringing an instant mood uplift. Over time, exercise has become my savior during moments of dread and panic. It's my go-to solution, my lifeline. So why not give it a try? It might just become your lifeline too. As we draw this video to a close, we've journeyed through a crucial topic today: overcoming fear and anxiety. We've all felt them. It's part of being human. But how we handle them, that's pivotal. Embrace your fears. Understand they're just feelings. Practice mindfulness. Be present in the now. Cut down on alcohol and caffeine. They may trigger your anxiety. Recognize the strength of a solid support system. It's okay to rely on others. Lastly, prioritize physical activity. It's a powerful weapon against anxiety. Don't forget, you are robust. Fear and anxiety don't define you. Believe this video will serve as a catalyst for a courageous, serene, and joyful you. You've got this. You're stronger than your fears and anxiety. And we hope that this video will be a stepping stone towards a braver, calmer, and happier you.